Hey folks. So, I'm... Hang on a second. Not sure the stream is working.
Well, ain't that just peachy?
Well, then what did I just tweet for?
Nothing, I guess.
Something's happening on... Let me look at it. Yeah, it's live. I'm looking at it. It's live.
Are you getting sound?
Well, I don't ever have my sound on.
Well, could you... Okay.
But I am now. Yeah.
Oh, the sound is coming through.
Yeah.
Okay, got it. Tricky. I'm on performance mode, and I guess it doesn't show me that the sound is working. So that's helpful. But
yeah, I have to mute it, or I get a bad echo.
Yeah. Okay, thank you for checking, Paul.
Sure. Uh-huh.
All right, guys, welcome to the Wildlands campaign. Welcome back. Last time, you guys fought in a terrible battle. The latest in a series you've had to fight your way through in the Cloud Summit Peaks. As you've been making your way down south from Arkney to the home nest where Akiri grew up. And you won the battle. You discovered a mysterious burned paper with her brother's handwriting on it. And you made your way to Akiri's former home. However, you came in the middle of essentially a funeral ritual for both Akiri herself and her brother and his two best friends. Her parents were overjoyed beyond words to see Akiri back, and in fact, they have not stopped touching you. Like, physically. Pyramid and... sorry, what was your mother's name? I have it right
Don't
here.
mind me, I'm just having a brain...
I have it right here.
You don't remember your own mother's name?
Nope.
Menonai. That was from
That's right.
memory. Menonai and Akiramid have not stopped touching you, have not left physical contact since you returned, since laying eyes upon you once more. And you've been ushered up into the trees. They they unfurled these rope ladders. And you guys were able to climb up into this, frankly, amazing, woven complex of nests. This big house, really, of interconnected buildings up in the trees, all woven from branches. And upon entering, the friendly yellow light of candles washing over you, this is the first time you guys have truly been inside in almost a week for most of you. And you immediately feel, those of you who aren't extremely those of you who like being inside, you immediately feel At peace. This is a home. This is a place of family. And indeed, you observing the Skyweavers clan, all the different, even non-related folk treat one another like family. And they begin dredging up some of their stash of food for the winter and laying out this kind of incredible meal. There are nuts and seeds and dried fruit, and also small furry animals that climb in the trees of the Whisperwood, where you now are. And some interesting drinks are laid out, non-alcoholic, by the Snowy Owl, Saya. The Snowy Owl Aarakocra. Everything is light, woven of wicker, essentially. Woven of branches, and there are many pillows scattered about. But there's a kind of central area, a kind of communal room, where you are able to come and gather, and all this food is being laid out. And Oos, the old Aarakocra, who seems to have this stick that he kind of leans on when he's not flying, spreads one feathered hand over the spread and says, "Please, partake." There's quite a bit of chatter. Almost everyone in the clan is here, except that Ayal and Hirk have both run off. They seem too overcome with emotion and too much in mourning for their children who have not come back with you.
These are the parents of the other two kids who are having the funeral?
That's right.
Calda has sat down at the table, said, "Aye, this is just like a family dinner back home." And she tucks in.
It's a very low table. You're meant to kind of perch on these woven objects around, and able to kind of reach down and grab some of the food on this communal area and take it to your own plate.
Or unless you were done, or you?
Go ahead.
Okay. I'd like to. You said his name was Oos. Was his name sort of the elder looking? You said he kind of was an elder.
That's right. He looks much older than all the other Aarakocras. Much older. His feathers are a little scraggly at the edges, and he is a red-tailed Aarakocra, and the red of his feathers has somewhat faded.
Okay, if I could get a spelling for that. Oh, I see it. Thank you. So I would turn to him and say, thank you so much for this. This is well beyond what we've been used to eating on the road. This looks delicious. Everything looks great, and we're so happy to be able to bring Akiri back with us, and she's really helped us way more than we've done anything to help her. She's saved each and every one of us. Literally saved our lives countless times. And she's a credit to all of you.
Oos takes a few nuts and a piece of squirrel tail from Kistra of the Kestrels family. And as he chews on it with his beak, he regards you with somewhat twinkling eyes. And he says, "This is the least we can do. I have already named you Talon Friends, Farwalkers, and Twilight Saviors, for you have come to us in the twilight. You have done much. Where is our other guest?" The one who is Kistra, who is handing him the nut, says, "Oh, shall I fetch him? I thought..." He says, Yes, let's have everyone here. Bring up the dwarf." And she kind of goes off. There's kind of a platform there's like an elevator that's like hand cranked with a system of pulleys. And she starts winching up something from down below. Meanwhile, Akiri, your parents, they are just hugging you, talking to you. They are barely, you're barely able to get a word in edgewise. And also, like, grabbing food and, like, piling it high on your plate.
This is delicious. Thank you so much. I am pulling
You are
no
welcome.
punches and eating as much as I can.
Akiri's...
Go ahead.
Akiri is going to, she's gonna try to, like, whenever she can, try to get what's been what's been going on since she's been gone out of her parents, if possible, if she can actually get the words out.
Certainly. As the meal continues and the night goes on, through bits and pieces, you're able to get the picture that approximately a month after you disappeared, they hadn't yet given up hope, but they were still pretty upset. Shadir, being the interested kind of fellow that he is, took it upon himself to explore something he found in the mountains just to the south.
Okay.
About half a day's flight south. And he was very excited about it. He seemed to think that it might have something to do with the Frilled, and or finding the Frilled, and or finding his sister. He was very, very worried about you. And he kept trying things and coming back. And of course, Shadir's two best friends Urk and Quaff, they had to go with him. It kept them out of trouble, or so it seemed, and, well, everybody wanted to know if his research would bear some kind of fruit and be able to find Akiri. And then, about a week ago, Shadir, Urk, and Quaff didn't come back. And they went and searched, but the clan wasn't able to get back to the place that Shadir had described, these ruins in the mountains. This underground ruin, or temple. Because strange creatures and people had invaded. And it seemed, since they seemed violent and very dangerous, it seemed likely that the worst had happened. And not wanting to beat themselves up over it anymore, they decided to go ahead and start funerary proceedings to try and give everyone some closure, because they've been weeping nonstop for a week. Although your mother says that she's been weeping nonstop since you left.
Akiri, like, kind of gives her a big hug at that. And then begins to tell all the wonderful tales of what happened while she was gone. And she's definitely going to downplay the dangerous parts, like, a lot. A lot. And just kind of give them the once-over of what happened after she left. How Zhurek told her to go to Arkney, and how she met up with Vale, and dragons, small ones, and just tell how everything that happened while she was gone.
Okay. Make a deception check with disadvantage, because it's your mother and father.
Lying to your mother. You should be ashamed.
It's either that or never be able to leave the clan again. $11?
Menonai and Akiramid fix you with a stern Aarakocran glare. It's dangerous out there. Your brother never came back. We fled for our lives before you were born.
Can I kind of, if I can hear him, can I say, please, we'll make sure she comes back.
I mean, they've done a great job of it so far. Like, look, we're all alive.
Taking care of each other is our job. It's what we do.
At this point, the winching of the elevator finally ceases, and you see the other guest of the Skyweaver clan. Actually, Correction, you hear them before you see them. Fanog Ledforge. A dwarf, wrapped in blankets, shivering, clutching this enormous axe with green metal, is lifted up over the lip of the nest and kind of is assisted by two of the Kestrel family into the communal area. But none of these descriptors are the most odd thing about this dwarf. For his skin is bright pink.
Oh.
Oh, fuck.
And he stumbles weakly into and kind of sits way off to one side. Some of the red-tailed family brings him some of the refreshments and kind of explains that one of their children has returned. Fanog Ledforge. One of our children is back, and he says, "That is good. That is good." He's quite shocking to look at, and he shivers, despite being wrapped in blankets, heavy winter clothing, and sitting right next to a fire that has been kindled in a hearth up here in the trees on a big flat stone.
Do you need a blanket? You look cold.
You call across the communal eating area, and he looks up from the kind of wicker basket he's been picking some food out of and says, "Thanks, friend. But no. I have blankets. Many. The chill comes from within."
I'm gonna look over at Mavra.
Same.
And just sort of say, "Is that what it looks like?"
Neighbor just nods.
Just as a note, Calda, while appearing to be fixated on her meal, is endeavoring to pick up on any snippets of conversations around this whole dinner table.
Okay. Well, you're certainly hearing everything that we have narrated thus far. Make a perception roll. Oh my lord!
Holy cow!
You don't even see shit, yo.
I got some real crunchy nuts that I'm feasting on.
Double ones, wow. It's not just that it's the crunchy nuts. You are seeing this incredibly emotional reunion of a daughter with her parents, and also your attention has been arrested by this bright pink shivering dwarf whose beard seems to be falling out.
No
Patchy.
wonder it's such a
So,
corpse.
Mr. Ledforge, how was it that you ended up here among the Aarakocra?
Oos turns and answers instead. Save your breath, my friend.
Of course.
No,
of
not
course.
you. Not you. Him. I will answer. Mr. Ledforge was seeking a cure for his affliction in Wildstone.
Now, if I may ask, why in Wildstone? We've been seeking a cure ourselves. But I wonder if perhaps we could work together.
Oh, well, I don't exactly know, but I suppose there are many healers in Wildstone, and there's a cleric at Carsley Fortress, and who knows? Perhaps you can share your reasoning if you've caught your breath. The holy water that I received from Belgrove was failing. The disease has gotten worse. And I heard that an elixir of healing had been bought and sold in Wildstone. So I was trying to track it down. And when they could not help me, I heard that you folk might know things that others do not. And so I've ended up here, high in the trees, far away from good sturdy ground. Not that I'm complaining, mind you. More of that squirrel, please.
Where did he say that he said that he got the holy water he got from the first
Belgrove. That's
Belgrove.
where the Road of
Okay.
Warfare is.
Okay. And that ran out, so he went to Wildstone, and that was he able to find any at Wildstone, or did he get some and it ran out also?
You ask him this?
I would like to ask him that.
I managed to get some more, but it lost the effectiveness. It slowed the progression of the disease, but recently took a turn for the worse, as you can see. And he gestures, and his hand shakes as he gestures at his own bright pink skin.
Yeah, so it seems like elixirs aren't really what we need. We need to find a cure. We need to find something, because, I mean, eventually it looks like the elixirs just don't cut it.
His eye kind of looks over you all and rests on Mavra, curiously.
Neighbor's just in shock.
Okay.
I'd like to kind of kick Equitus under the table.
All right.
What?
It's extremely rude to tell somebody who has an incurable disease that somebody should probably find a cure for it.
Oh. Yeah. I can see how that would be rude. Would be rude. I didn't think about that.
I mean, the poor man is already probably dying any day now. And not even to speak of Maver's father.
Well, but that is what we want to do, isn't it?
Well, of course. I just... Never mind. Just don't... Just try to think about... If you had a disease like that, what are the kinds of things that you would like somebody to say to you?
Probably I'd like him just to go ahead and kill me.
Okay, let's put a pin in that and revisit it later.
The dwarf isn't listening to you guys. He is clutching this tremendous battle axe of green metal, and is kind of in one hand, and is kind of like pushing his food around with the handle. Just the handle, though, not the blade.
Does Calder recognizes
The weapon?
the green metal?
I don't
Also,
know
is
any
it
particular
possible-
reason why she should, but you could roll... I would let you roll a... I guess just an intelligence check on it. Or
Sure,
a
just
history
a
check.
side note. Would this guy have been in town while Calder had been in town?
Yes. Well, yes, actually. Potentially, yes.
Is it possible Calder knows more about the treatment he's been seeing?
Seems unlikely. It's not really the circles she's been running in. We used to have a knowledge local skill for this, but I'll let you make an intelligence check.
Okay.
Oh, intelligence, not history?
Though the history was for the green metal.
Oh.
Well, that has been made.
Oh, wow. So 21.
21 Jump Street.
Not just from the form of the metal, but from the make of it, which looks like a dragon's jaws open. You recognize this as having been... This is steel that has been quenched in green dragon's blood.
Fascinating.
And you would suspect that it is most likely a named weapon in the dwarven tradition.
I like your axe. Its color's very cool.
Aye. Thank you, friend. I like your hammer.
Oh yes, this is Choco-Block. And I don't pull her out because we're sitting at dinner. But I pat her lovingly.
Calder will sidle up to Mavra and whisper in Dwarvish. Ask him about his ask. What's its name? Where to get it? Conversation starter.
5, so I'm guessing that's a no.
You are unfamiliar with the name. Quite possibly one of the dwarven families not from the same city that you're from. While all of this is going on, Sikr, the golden eagle Aarakocra, has been standing guard, not partaking of the festivities. He carries a big two-handed bow right now, and is, well, obviously two-handed, and he is kind of surveying the area and keeping one eye, it feels like, on all of you, and one eye on the dark night outside your woven nest, lit with candles.
I'd like to note that somewhere out there is a very, very big spider, so he might be watching her.
Tied at the base of the tree, of course, is the large spider that wants to climb up the tree, but is currently prevented. Srakik is curled up somewhere down there.
So are we going to go to this place where the other birds went missing and try and rescue them?
Well, obviously.
I think that's a very good idea. I think, yes, unless anyone disagrees, I think we should probably set out as soon as we can.
Oos looks at you guys and considers.
Now, did we hear...
You
Oh, sorry.
would do that as well. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
No, it's fine. Go ahead.
You would do that as well. That is perhaps unwise. And Menonai breaks in and she says, none of you should go anywhere near that God's cursed place. It's crawling with monsters.
It's taking everything in Akiri not to say we've done it before, because she knows her parents will never let her leave if she says.
That's exactly why we need to go.
Akiri Mead says, we sent a request to the soldiers of the fortress. Let them deal with it. There's no way that your brother is... And he breaks down. He starts crying. He can't finish the sentence.
I'd like to go over to Akiri's parents, or scoot my chair closer to them anyway, and say, it seems like you've raised two remarkably courageous children. It's not uncommon to see one adventurer in a family, but to see two people who are so willing to dedicate and even risk their lives in order to save other people is... You should be very proud.
Of course I'm proud. But he wasn't a fighter any more than his little baby sister. He was a student.
I think that just makes him all the braver.
A student of history and...
His baby sister is one of the bravest fighters I've ever seen.
Hugs you closer, Akiri.
Figures. She kind of pats them.
The way I see it, we're deeply indebted to your family. Akiri has saved my life alone on many occasions, not even to speak of the rest of the people in our party. I think that the least we can do is, if not hopefully we'll be able to find your son and at least bring him back, that he can rest among his people.
We're gonna do this for Curls, and we want to have your blessing as we do it. But we're gonna go do this, and we're gonna find your son and bring him home also.
Akira Mead and Mennonite look at each other. There's a long silence.
Akira is holding her breath.
They grip you tightly. Maybe you should sleep on it, says Saya, the snowy owl. Not much, but she pushes forward a cup, a wooden cup, that is filled with some kind of effervescent, bubbly liquid. And she says, "Have a drink of this, and settle yourselves. And I will tell you a magic that might make you think differently in the morning."
Is she directing that at Akiri or Akiri's
The three of
parents?
you.
I can't tell. Alright. Akiri will reach for it and take.
The liquid washes over your tongue and fills your beak with a buzzing sensation as the popping liquid, the bubbles fill you, and your parents each take a sip too, and you do feel a certain calm washing over you. You might actually be able to sleep tonight.
Sweet.
Yes, perhaps it would be best, says Oos. Perhaps it would be best if we talked it over in the morning or after a few days. Let's all just take a breath.
I'm not sure we can wait a few days.
Yeah, I'm looking over at the rest of the party.
You guys are pretty ragged and dirty. You have been traveling over the mountains in brutal conditions, and you have been fighting multiple days in a row. So it has been a pretty harrowing journey. And even as you say those words, there is a part of you, Ekatus, that can't help but feel like, man, it sure would be nice to rest for a while. But
I think that sleeping on it is an excellent idea, and we can all reconvene in the morning and see how everybody is feeling, and if any new information has come in overnight.
Yeah, that's a good. I have a bad feeling about this, but yeah, let's sleep on it.
very well. We will find places for you to sleep. We'll make room. Don't worry. And at least one of you, he points at Akiri with his stick, already has a bedroom.
Akiri nods.
Would you guys like to do anything else at the dinner?
I want to see what Akiri's bedroom looks like.
What does it look like?
She happily leads you to it, and it's it's small. It's not very large. It's facing, we'll say it's facing south. So it's like a little bit on the warmer side. It's on the warmer side of the house. And it's just filled to the brim with shiny knickknacks. Just like little bits of rocks and beads and and on her bed is this very soft, bright, like quilt. With it doesn't have like it looks faded and old and well used and well loved. But at one point, it was probably very bright and cheerful. Um, and there's a little nightstand with a bowl on it, and then there's a dresser with 3 or 4 drawers, and yeah, that's about it. And there's a little stool in there to sit on.
Well, this looks perfect. This is exactly what I would picture Akiri's bedroom to look like.
Does she have her own room, or did she share?
She probably shared when she was little, but when she and Shadira got older, they probably separated off into different rooms because.
I mean, she is little.
When he got older.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Cool.
While everyone heads out, I'll stop by Lead Forge and ask the name of his axe.
You noticed my axe. He holds it up. It's really of marvelously looking make. An amazingly, clearly dwarven forged axe. It's a battle axe of this with a green metal head that is forged as part of the axe to look like a dragon's jaws open. And it has this smooth, dark wooden handle with leather wrapped around for the hand, and a kind of rune carved metal ring around the top and bottom of the handle. And he says, "This is the Green Dragon's Bite. It was given to me by one that I knew before I got sick. And I've only gotten to use it a handful of times while traveling. But, it bites like a dragon. I tell you that much. I have only got the axe, but if you have the armor as well, then you get immunity."
Well, it's beautiful.
Well, thank you. You've got quite a collection of weapons yourself, lass.
It's true.
You look like more of a warrior than I ever was. He shivers as a chill runs through him. And he says, "This poisons your enemies."
How long have you had the chill?
He kind of screws up his face, like trying to think back. Must be half a year now.
My father's had it for 5 months.
Oh. Who be your father? I'm so sorry.
What have you tried?
Well, there were various medicines and things I have tried, but the only thing that worked was one cleric recommended a holy water compress, and that halted the disease progression for a time. But excuse me. About a month ago, that stopped having any effect, and I've turned this color brightly. And well, the lassies don't look at me the way they used to anymore. I think it's quite something for you to take on this Aarakocra's fight as your own. You must have a strong bond.
We're a team.
Well, what's your father's name? And yours, for that matter.
I'm Mavra. My father is Foldrick Barrelheart.
Foldrick Barrelheart. Is that, of Deldam or elsewhere?
Deldam, yes.
Never been to Birdiac Peak myself, but I suppose now I never will. The one who gave me this axe came from there. But he said that was not where the armor lay. So, I guess you could say...
Do you know about the armor?
They say it'll protect a dwarf from death. Well, anyone who puts it on, really, and has the axe as well. Certainly, it'll make you immune to poisons. And I hoped diseases when I first got sick. But... Craggy Grunborn is the one who gave it to me. He said the armor lay far to the northwest of here, in a mine. Still worn by the last dwarf who had it.
Well, I don't want to keep you. I should head to bed.
Oh, yes, I suppose I should try and get some rest as well. I wish you all the best, Mavra. It's nice to see another dwarf.
It was nice to meet you.
was nice to meet you. You have the look of a warrior. We need more of those.
Thank you.
He wraps himself in the blankets, which don't seem to do him any good, and shivers as they lower him down toward his beloved ground. Unless you guys want to do something else, you are split off, each given a spot to sleep. Some of you may need to adjust your sleeping areas as they may be somewhat exposed, not to the elements, but potentially open on the floor so that you could fall through if you don't have wings. But they seem to be able to accommodate those who cannot fly. And you are given hammocks or beds or other things up in the trees and among the nests. And as you curl up, warm and full of hot cooked food, you feel rest take your bones.
I'd like to know that Akiri doesn't actually sleep in her bed. She goes to Shadir's and curls up on it and goes to sleep on it.
And that's where your parents are too. They have literally not left you out of physical contact.
Dang it, they don't trust her. Which is smart.
It might be that, or it might be that they are so distraught at having thought they lost both their children and having one back. You all unroll bedding in Shadir's room, which is full of racks of scrolls and books. And pushing some of those aside, you all go to sleep together in one big, feathery, fluffy pile.
Dude, that would be the dream to sleep in, like, honestly.
Speaking of dreams, do you all just go to sleep, or was there anything else?
Well, I head straight to bed.
All right.
Just a
Calda,
question.
you receive a sending as
That's
you
what
are.
I was about to ask.
Mm-hmm. You receive a sending which I have already communicated to you in Discord. The content of that message. So the spell causes words in a familiar voice to speak in your head. And you fall asleep nodding. Or perhaps you can write me an answer if you wish.
Yeah, I'll send you one on the Discord.
Take your time. As you go to sleep with full bellies, wrapped up warm in the nests of the Skyweaver clan, I'm going to ask that Bref make a fortitude saving throw.
What saving throw?
Bref, you lie in the woven nest, curled up on a blanket in a hammock. Makes you feel like you're on a boat again a little bit, where you slept in a hammock. And you look up and you can see the Lost One, kind of taking its strange, meandering, totally unpredictable zigzag path through the sky. The full moon shining down in a bright beam of silvery light upon you, the bars across your face of light as it shines through the wicker woven roof. I'm going to ask you to make a fortitude saving throw as you look up.
Not great. That's a 1.
He gets dizzy and barfs over the edge.
All right.
I hope I'm not sleeping below breath.
Mavra, you're sleeping. Are you sleeping up in the trees as well? I assume.
Wherever I was told to sleep.
Okay, well, they give you a more solid bed, thinking that you are probably like the other dwarf they've had the pleasure of interacting with, who likes having his feet on the ground. And Mavra. Mavra, you begin to dream. A strange dream. A stronger dream than you're used to. And I have a specific song I wanted to play for this, so bear with me for a second. Where is it? Stand by for just a minute. Oh, of course I can't find it. Hang on. Alright. Oh well, I can't find it right now, which is unfortunate. But you do dream. In your mind's eye, Mavra, you see the towering spire of Birdiac Peak. And the smoke and steam that emerges from the great dwarf face carved on the side of the mountain. Your vision swoops in like a bird and instantly penetrates many layers of earth and stone to the city beneath. Deldam, in all its glory, the great city teeming with dwarves. The great dam, holding back the boiling river where it meets orange lava, bright crimson in the dark city. The glowing molten rock meeting the water in a loud explosion of steam, spreading the smell of sulfur throughout, permeating the stone walkways and byways between the multitude of grand carven buildings, each with its yellow glowing eyes, windows lit by candles within. You experience the sights, sounds, smells of home. Your tongue can already taste the rich dark mead, the strong spices and alcohol that cut through the ever-present smell of hot rock and underground gases. But you do not go into the mead house. No. Your vision is pulled forward and down, deeper, following the bright streams of lava and falling water, split off from the main dam via grand channels, directing and controlling the elemental forces of the deep. The volcanic forge, the great hammers powered by steam, the enormous channels of lava, the heat directed that can melt the strongest steel in an instant. Your ears are assaulted by the pounding hammers, the shouting, the heat beats upon your face, and your vision comes close in. You see your mother receiving a sword just quenched from the forge. She then receives an axe, a hammer. She examines each weapon and sets it aside. Her practiced fingers carefully holding the objects with reverence. They are of plain but very sturdy make, and there is a glow to them, a glow that might just be the reflection of the lava in the forge, or might not be. Finally, the old dwarven smith gives your mother a golden armband. And you can see it's beautifully crafted. It's beautifully crafted, and it is marked with dwarven runes etched around the side. Your mother holds it up. The runes in your dream, in Dwarven, which you haven't read in a long time, say, "Hale and hearty." Your mother looks up questioningly, and the old smith raises his white eyebrows. Then your dream takes a sudden turn. In that strange way dreams have, there's very little transition, and yet it does not seem strange to you. But you are suddenly pulled from that moment into another spot in time. Not a different place, however. You're still in the forge, with the glow of the lava beating upon all reflective surfaces, including, at this moment, your mother, wearing armor and wielding some of those weapons, cleaving her way through an ocean of orcs. Their blood spatters the stone walkways, the catwalks that go over the lava, the cranes made for carrying heavy bits of machinery to and fro. She cuts them down swiftly, one after another. And in the tremendous battle, one orc slips up behind her and slashes her on one side, and with incredibly quick fingers, it almost seems magical in how smooth it is. He shoves his fingers under her armor, grabs something, and rips it off her arm. A golden armband. You barely see the flash of it before your mother spins around and with one swipe of her axe chops off the orc's head, which, spouting blood, flies into the air, still grinning with his victory. Your vision in the dream shifts away from your mother, however, and you watch the golden armband falling, bouncing on the stone over a crack that has appeared. There's a boom. Some dreadful weapon of the orcs has opened the crack further. And the armband bounces again and falls into it, passing from your sight as you try to follow it. Would you like to do something?
I wait and just lie there awake for a little bit.
You do slowly wake up and you see you're in the periphery of your vision. You can see other stranger creatures, not just orcs. Much weirder, twisted things striding over the catwalks of lava, directing the orcs as minions. And then, as you stare at the dark, you realize you are awake and in the nest, and it's the middle of the night.
I just stay awake.
You stay awake the rest of the night?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. You're not going to get your proper rest, but that will be interesting. Bref. As you drift off to sleep, your dreams are, if anything, even stranger. You have red dreams. Dreams of crimson. Hunger. You dream of the smell of blood in the dark. You dream of not emotions, but needs, urges, things you would struggle to describe. You dream of smells. You dream of delicious smells of smells that trigger stronger urges in you. A musk, a scent on the air. Breath. Mavra.
Yes.
You're lying awake. And you hear this inhuman shriek.
I grab my hammer.
And then you hear
And I follow the noise. Because I'm awake. Why not?
well, you hear coming from down below this sound like
That's just called a snoring.
and you walk over, pick your way carefully with your dark vision over the nest. You realize the shriek, almost like a yowl, came from over toward the red-tailed nest area. And walking along the nest, you come and you are met by Sicker, the golden eagle Aarakocra you remember being introduced to briefly. And his weapon is out, his bow. And he looks at you. Did you hear that?
I did.
Do you know what it was?
I do not.
It came from over here. And he swoops, flapping his big, strong wings over to the area of the nest. And you clamber over there. There's a bunch of sleepy Aarakocras. One room is empty, however. Sicker lands and points it out to you. Where is your friend? The big human. And you see Chocoblocka lying next to the bed. You see a broken bit of the floor. A place where the wicker has been slashed and broken. You see Bref's clothing scattered about.
Got
And
raptured.
you see his pack where the rations are has been ripped open. Four big slashes right through it, and then the rations spilled out.
I think we need to find him.
Sicker says, I'll look around. And he takes off. Sicker flies in ever-widening circles. What do you do, Mavra?
I look around the room to see if I can find any clues.
Make an investigation check.
14.
Well, the hole in the floor is big enough to fit someone through.
Like breath?
Yeah, or someone bigger than Breath. It's a big hole.
Do I see anything when I look in the hole?
You look down and... Not really. Your dark vision doesn't reach that far. You're way high up in the air. Sicker does come back and tell you that there's some broken branches along the way down.
And I know I'm not there, but like the flooring that this hole is on is like kind of wicker woven, kind of wickerish kind of flooring.
The whole place is kind of like that, yeah.
Okay, and that's in a hole. There's a hole. The hole is in that.
Mm-hmm.
Okie doke.
What time is it?
By the Lost One's position, you would have to hazard a guess by the moon that it is probably 3 or 4 in the morning.
I think I'm gonna go wake Calda.
You're going to wake everybody up?
I'm gonna start with Calda.
Okay, you wake Calda first. Calda, you are shaken awake.
Breath is missing. Can you come look at his room?
Aye. We go and investigate the room.
It is as I have already described it. The parallel slashes opening his pack, the big hole in the floor, the clothing scattered about, the hammer left by the side of the bed.
Now, he never leaves this.
What's that? His hammer? No.
And is he known to wander around naked?
Usually.
Okay. Likely an abduction. I would like to peer through and make an investigation.
You can't really see too far in the dark.
Fair point.
Should we go down there?
If we want to find him.
We're gonna go down the hall.
Well, you're just gonna jump out of the tree?
Oh, climb!
Sicker flies up and he says, "What are you doing?"
I'm climbing.
Looking for breath.
He says, "Breath isn't anywhere nearby."
He said that?
Sicker does.
You can't find him?
I've flown half a mile in every direction. He is nowhere to be seen. So unless he is hidden, he is not there.
Is there a body of water anywhere?
No.
Are there
But
traps?
there is some blood.
Oh.
There is blood just below the hole he knocked in our floor.
Hey, Vera. Which of your numbers is best tracker?
I think Akiri technically has the highest survival.
Okay.
Would it be survival or investigation?
I think it would be investigation.
Good night.
Good night.
Good night.
Good night.
Then it would, if
Good
it was
night.
investigation, then it would probably be called a. Then it would.
In Calder's experience, usually tracks fall under a ranger or more wild folk jurisdiction.
Then yeah, probably a Kiri or Krim.
Krim has been kind of in awe of all of
Maybe
this,
Cordy.
but hasn't said much. Oh,
That's
Cordy.
true. Cordy might have a lot too. Actually, I bet Cordy's our best bet.
I mean,
Sicker says, perhaps we should leave it until morning, when we have better light.
Well, if it's morning, he might be dead.
If I were awake, I wouldn't want. If I were there, I would not want this to wait till the morning.
Okay.
Not for breath. But I'm not there.
Indeed.
Calder, should we wake everyone?
Let's at least get Cordy.
Cordy is done with her meditations and is just taking in the night, chewing on a mushroom.
Should probably get
She says, "Oh, something's happening?"
breath is missing.
There's a blood trail.
A blood trail.
Also, I'm not too sure Akiri's appearance will let her go.
Well, we'd better wake everybody up and get them to help.
Yeah. We wake everyone.
Alright.
So, basically, you guys, as you're waking everyone up, pretty soon the Skyweaver clan as a whole is awake. There are some upset children, but there's definitely people gathering around the Redtail nest area and checking out Bref's room. And you guys are able, if you wish, to go down to the ground via a rope ladder. I'm going to say everyone make a Constitution saving throw, except Bref, or you're going to take a level of fatigue. You're going to take a level of exhaustion.
Calder's been sleeping real well.
Yeah.
So has Maver, I guess.
Maver's fine. Now, none of you have gained the benefits of a long rest. So, no healing since the last fight. No charges have come back. No spell slots. None of that.
What about exhaustion?
You have not cleared your exhaustion either.
But we don't gain any levels of exhaustion.
Bella does, and Akiri does.
Okay.
Now, Akiri, your parents are not going to let you leave.
Figured.
So you can go back to sleep if you want.
We're gonna have to do something about that eventually.
Calder will go up to Akiri and just very quietly say, if you want to slip away, I could maybe whip something up.
There's really
Distract your
no
parents.
way for you to whisper to her without her parents overhearing. They are literally one hand on each of her shoulders.
Then I'll be playfully obvious about it.
Okay. The Mennonite glowers at you and ruffles her curly feathers, and she says, I don't know who you think you are, but you are not going to come in here, eat our food, and then steal our remaining child away in the middle of the night. So please,
Not steal.
feel free to run off into the unknown woods full of dangerous monsters that we've already warned you about, but don't drag my daughter into it.
I'm just
Akiri's
allowing her.
very put out at the moment.
All right.
How? Okay, remind me again how Akiri would. She's 3, but how old would that translate to in Aarakocra years?
She said that. Okay, so Eriko could reach sexual maturity at 3 years, so I put her at about there. Technically,
She's like
She's
an old
the-
teenager. She's like 17.
Like 16, 16, 17, 18.
hmm
yeah, somewhere in there.
Okay.
Emotionally, she's around there.
Sure. Okay. Well,
She
We
fully
need to-
plans on sneaking out by herself, though, so we'll see if that works.
We'll figure that out when it's time to figure that out. But right now, we need to get Breath. We need to find Breath. So, one of us needs to somehow. How far down is it to the ground? To the ground from here, from where he fell. He might have fallen.
Probably fell.
About 70 feet.
About 70 feet. Okay.
There are several broken branches along the way down, and as you climb down the rope ladders that the Skywings are able to, Skyweavers are able to lower for you, you get a sense of how far that would have been to fall, if it was indeed Breath who fell.
Right.
Because
But there are rope ladders there that we can climb down to the ground. Is that right?
there are, yeah. You are down
All right.
now at the ground. You see there's some broken branches, sticks, and a splotch of blood, just as Sickert described. And there's some blood running off into the woods as well.
Okay.
Drips of blood.
I want to follow the blood, I suppose.
Okay.
I don't know who's with me, but hopefully somebody's got my back.
I am.
Akratos, Mavra, and I think Kalda
I
head off into the woods. The blood leaves a fairly good trail, but you're trying to do this in the dark. And even with dark vision, that is a challenge to do in black and white. So I'm going to ask for a survival check with disadvantage to
Okay.
whoever is leading
Yeah.
the group.
could I light a torch?
I was gonna say I don't have a torch. If anybody had a torch, that sure would help. I don't know if DM would let that help us at all or not. If that would help us.
Yeah, a torch will certainly take away the disadvantage.
Okay.
Okay.
I don't mind leading. I don't know if I have the best survival. I don't have the worst survival, but I don't know that I have the best.
We were thinking Cordy.
Cordy.
Yeah, Cordy, come with us.
Sure, Cordy can come
All
with
right, then let's let her do a survival check then.
you.
I don't know who's able to do that.
I am.
I light a torch very quickly with control flame.
Okay. Cordy gets a 12. She, through getting you to hold the torch kind of behind her so it doesn't ruin her night vision, she peers at the splotches of blood, follows some twigs. It's not really heading in a straight line. It's kind of like weaving back and forth. And there's some large tracks, but she can't make out what they are. Just big.
Can I kind of look up in the trees and see if I notice anything in the trees?
You notice the sticks, the bare branches of the woods rubbing together and making their signature whisper.
Interesting.
She loses the trail after not very far.
Okay. I'm gonna kind of whisper to the other people. Who's with me? Who's here? I know that it's me, Calda, Mavra, and Cordy. Is everybody here?
I haven't heard from Bella.
Akiri is obviously not. But everybody else is.
Sounds like it.
Okay. So I'm going to whisper and say, do we think it's worth kind of trying to yell for him? Or do you think that it's too dangerous?
While this speculation is going on, Calder will lean down and examine the tracks with a nature check. See if it's anything she recognizes.
Make a nature check. No idea. But it doesn't look like human feet.
Well, it's big. Not human.
Big, though.
Have we just spitballing here? Did we see the spider coming down?
Yes. Thrakik is back there. You can actually still see her. Eyes glinting in the torchlight.
Knitting a sweater.
Just curled up. Having a spider face.
Just checking.
That's fair. That's a good thought.
Can Cordy or somebody, I would assume Cordy would be the only person that could probably do this, maybe turn into something that might be able to maybe smell or see or something better than we can?
Cordy says, all right. I mean, there's not much point, because even if he's dead, then that would only be natural.
Okay, Cordy.
But, I suppose, she turns into a bloodhound. And
That's what I'm looking for.
Snuffs around for a bit. Unfortunately, she kind of snuffs around in an ever-widening circle, and she has mushrooms growing out of her dog nose, and it kind of bobs up and down as she goes. And then she comes back up to your feet, Equitas, and turns back into Cordy.
I was going to give her a little scritch behind her ear before she did that. But
She leans
all right.
over. You can still do that.
Oh, okay. Well, give her a little scritch. That's okay. Thanks for helping out.
Calder will lean
She
in.
says, "Yes." 1 second. Let me just say what she was going to say. She says, "I don't smell him." She says, "I smell something with a kind of a scary musk to it. I don't know what that means. I'm not usually a dog." It made me want to piddle on the tree, but I smelled it, and it was a scary smell, but it was not a breath smell.
Okay,
Right.
I can't do that. Never mind.
But, why do the mushrooms grow on your animal form?
She says, "That's kind of a personal question, but maybe when I get to know you better."
Calder's all about the personal questions, Cordy.
No, just really interesting things.
You're like Bella. You're interested in lots of things.
I
am interested in things, thank you.
Bella says from the trees.
No, I'm there. I said I was
Yes.
there.
She said,
Yeah, the only one who's not here is Akiri.
and breath, obviously.
Well, right. Okay, so, all right, we need. Okay, what happened to breath? There's a big breath-shaped hole.
I didn't say it was breath shaped.
Okay, well, it was big enough.
Oh, man. Yeah, Looney Tunes. It's a Looney Tunes game now.
It was big, but it was big enough for breath to have fit through.
Yeah.
Although that we may be making a leap there. That may be a logical leap there. He may not have fallen. But if he didn't, then what happened to him? If he had fallen... Okay. What did we hear? Who heard Maverick? You're the one that heard the crash, boom, bang, right?
Yes.
And did it sound like a person? Did it sound like breath?
It did not.
Interesting. Okay. Can we maybe get...
It did not sound human.
Okay. Well, now I'm on edge and looking, now I'm ready for anything. Alright, I think we need to head back to where we came from, because I don't think being out here lost is helping breath.
Did we already look where he said the branches were broken?
I know what I was doing was following the blood trail. So if we can go look at the broken branches, yes, we can do that.
Yeah, if we didn't, we should.
Yes.
You take your torch, which is now attracting moths, through the trees, sending its acrid smoke up in between the leaves or the bare branches. And come back to the spot beneath the nest where something seems to have fallen. Or someone. You hold your torch above you and look down at the broken branches and splotch of blood on the floor. Who is looking closer?
So the running theory is this blood don't smell like breath. That right?
No, it does not, says Cordy. Very few things smell like breath, really. He's quite pungent.
But we would assume that his blood would smell like him, right?
You'd think it would be the thing that would most smell like him. Of
Well,
all the things.
I don't know. I just can tell you what I smelled.
And so all we see in the branches is just a bundle of broken branches and
Well, you
some
just
more
walked
blood.
back to it, yes.
Right, and some more blood.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, are the broken branches just below the tree?
They are.
Oh, okay.
Is someone looking more closely?
I will look closely. I will look more closely
Make
at
an investigation check.
Can I help him?
Sure.
Yeah, I would also. Well, is it a benefit if two people help him?
Yep.
I would need all the benefit I could get.
We are going to bring in we're going to bring in 3rd edition rules because my experiment with the way 5th edition works on this is over.
I still
so
rolled a good one.
The people
I'll
who
hold
are
up a
assisting are rolling against DC of 10. And if you succeed, you give the main person a +2.
Alright,
Okay.
so it looks like so far, Equitus, you get a 20.
Yeah.
So wait.
Oh,
Which is-
gosh.
Oh,
I helped
dang.
out.
Good gravy, Galda.
Calda, you get a 28.
Well, since you guys can have time to kind of talk about this, you can use Calda's check.
My torch was very helpful.
Yeah.
Holy smokes.
Hell of a torch you got there, Galda.
The broken branches. Some of them are spattered with blood. Some of them, their broken tips have bits of matted, bloody hair stuck to them. Strange hair. What's your hair color?
It's not dark brown.
Not dark brown.
What phase is the moon in?
You look up at the sky, and the lost one is actually toward the horizon now, as it has meandered, zigzagging unpredictably across the sky. And there's a big round eye.
God damn it, you guys. He's a
It's a
freaking
frickin'
were-tiger.
Were-tiger. Fucking fuckity fuck. Fuck.
You all talk about lichen family.
Yeah, we thought maybe we had escaped it, but it looks like... yeah.
You know what, though? This one wasn't our fault. This was an actual accident. This wasn't something that we touched to say, "Hey, let's touch this and see what happens." This was actually somebody that touched us.
That's very comforting until I think of the fact that Bref is still a weird tiger
Well, that's
out
true.
in the middle of nowhere murdering people. What is the blood? Where's the blood? Whose blood is it?
Okay, calm
He
down,
killed
Bella.
some.
Bella. This isn't helping. We need a plan. All right. So, where's he gonna go? He's gonna try to find people. See, why didn't he just try to kill us? Why didn't he go to us? There's got to be.
Cordy says, "Oh, that makes sense."
What makes sense, Cordy?
Well, I said it didn't smell like Bref because Bref's not sick. And this smelled like a sick blood.
Oh no.
Oh.
But maybe his blood smells different because when he's different. I don't know.
Where's the dwarf, guys?
No. Okay, we need to go back to the enclave, to the thing, and let's just very calmly and very coolly, let's go check on what was his name?
Mr. Leadforge.
Leadforge. We need to go check on
As you're
Mr.
meandering up,
I'm sure he's fine.
Calda just sort of absent-minded is like, "So did you know lycanthropy was something your friend had?"
Who are you asking?
The group?
Okay.
Well, we ran into somewhere mostly tigers a little while back, and we knew that Bref had a kind of a close run-in with one of them. We were hopeful. I don't know. We were hoping that it wouldn't turn out to affect him, or that we weren't really exactly sure how it spread, and that if he needed to have been bitten or how it, but apparently whatever happened, it spread.
DM, would Calda have read about lycanthropy?
I mean, you know the basics.
Okay.
If you want to ask if you know more than the basics, make a history check.
I skipped that class.
This is
Also make a no, yeah, okay. You know that there's some relation to crime, but it's not your department.
Well, I don't know more than you, but this is bad.
yeah, we
You
know.
Walk
it's bad.
across underneath the nest, and you hear
Oh, thank God. I'm gonna run to that sound.
Yeah, same.
you see the kind of elevator nest has been broken partially. Phonog Leadforge is inside, apparently unharmed, but its eyes are as round as 2 gold coins, and his pink face is white.
I ask him what he's seen.
We gotta get up in the trees. There was a thing. I don't know what it was. It was horrible. Hairy. It was hairy. And big. Real frickin' big. It was all muscle and hair, and I didn't really see it, but it had these eyes and fangs and claws, and it just smashed the... It smashed the side of... It smashed the side of the elevator. And it just ran off. I think I might have gotten it with my axe.
Which direction did he run?
I have no idea. I saw it. I heard it. It kind of growled at me. It had this breathing like it was in pain.
And did he scratch you? Did he get you?
No, he just ran off.
Okay. And we don't know what direction he ran in. Alright, so I want to look around where he is and see if I can maybe discern a direction where he might have run.
You look around in the dark. You've done a lot of that recently.
Yeah.
Don't we have a general?
It's a torch.
We have a general direction, right?
Well, do we? Okay, then let's go in that general direction.
I'd like to stop and talk to Mr. Ledforge and ask him if he needs help getting back inside.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Yes, please. Turn the winch.
I'll help turn the winch to try to get the elevator to...
It works. Yeah. And gets lifted up.
Yeah.
The whole time he is coughing uncontrollably and just wheezing. Can't catch his breath.
I think the inability to catch breath is kind of the problem of the moment.
Self-pun. So...
Isn't that like a reoccurring problem, though?
Honestly, that's the most upsetting part about all of this, is you making that joke right now.
Yeah.
You guys... You really don't have a direction. Like I said, the trail was like back and forth and meandering.
Okay. Okay, he got... Why did he not kill the old man, for one thing? And then where did he go?
I'm not old, I'm just sick!
Okay, sick guy.
I'm not old. I'm 37.
I got better.
He does seem old.
I don't think he's very far. I think he's right around here somewhere.
Okay, listen. We know Breath better than anybody here. Maybe we could think of a way to lure him out. What does Breath want, even when he's wanting to do a murder?
Well, he likes hitting things with chock-a-block. but he doesn't have Choco-Block with him.
Really like that food.
He does. He likes to drink.
Okay.
Hey, Mavra, do you have some of your ale?
No, we all
Oh.
finished it.
Well, poo. Okay. Surely we can. Well, the Aarakocra, they probably don't drink, do they? Freaking Aarakocra. I love Akiri, her family. I don't know, man. Anyway.
I'm going to stop you right there and just move on to the next thing, which is how are we going to catch breath?
Yes, you're right.
As you're having this conversation, the sun starts to kiss the eastern horizon with light, streaming forth over the sky as the stars fade. The lost one has set, and you are feeling weary. Even if you didn't get a level of exhaustion.
Calder says, well, if it's lycanthropy, little I do know. It's cured at dawn.
Yeah,
So
there's
I'm going
going
to
to be a very confused, naked breath out there somewhere. And actually, he probably needs our help right now more than he did before, maybe even.
Calder goes to bed.
Maybe we could get the rest of the Aarakocra to help us search at this point, now that we know what we're looking for.
And then it's
Probably.
safe. Yeah, okay, we can do that.
I mean, even if they find him, they could just come back and get us, and we could go.
Yeah,
He's probably scared.
It would be easy. We just fan out from the nest outward. Everybody would just fan out in a group.
Right. So let's go back and ask everybody to help us search.
Let's do that.
Meanwhile, up in the trees, Akiri, people are starting to stir. Your parents make you breakfast. A delicious, amazing breakfast. Like you had when you were first hatched.
Tastes like home.
Does. Breath. Such strange dreams you had. These red dreams. You wake up hazy, with the strange dream still somewhat affecting you. You hurt. You hurt all over. You've taken damage. Cuts. Bruises. A broken pinky. And maybe a couple broken toes as you move your feet. You stir. You're awake. You hear the whispering of the trees all around you.
Those Aarakocra, ugh, know how to throw a party. Ugh, where is everybody?
As you sit up to look around as you're doing on camera, you feel the pains just shooting across your body. You have taken 35 damage. There is an answer to your pronouncement, but it's not your friends, and it's not the Aarakocra. You are somewhere in the woods, on the ground, not in the hammock that you went to sleep in. And you're not wearing any clothes, or carrying Chocoblocka. There's a grunt in response to you. Ugh.
Was I accidentally sleeping on top of someone?
You sit up, seated upon a fallen log, looking at you, wearing loose-fitting clothing, colorful, with a kind of shiny thread embellishments here and there, is a man. A man about the same size as you. Big, muscular, but a little bit of leanness to him as well. He's got big, bushy red hair. But a kind of brown skin. And he has these intense eyes. And he's staring at you, holding a gourd.
Holding what?
A gourd with a cork in it. And as you look back at him, he uncorks it, takes a drink.
Morning, friend.
Thirsty. He holds out the gourd.
Very.
You take a swig of water and it makes you feel a little bit less groggy. But you're still banged up.
Thank you. Where are we?
The orange-haired man pushes some of the hair out of his eyes and looks around. The Whispering Wood.
Oh. I was with the Aarakocra in the bird bed, and then I woke up here, and I kind of hurt a lot. Did you take me here?
No. You took yourself. Something happened to you last night, didn't it?
I guess it must have, but I don't know.
You'll figure it out. Seemed like a smart lad.
I don't think that's true. Just objectively, there seems to be a lot I don't understand.
Well, I'm sure we'll meet again. What was your name?
Oh, my name's Bref. What's your name? Nice to meet you.
Nice chatting with you. You'll find me again, I have no doubt.
You're kind of scary.
Scary. Not half so scary as some.
Yeah, that's true. I once met a big dragon that was way scarier than you, but you're still pretty scary.
Right. So, where are your friends?
Well, I don't know. I think they're probably back with the Aarakocra.
With the Aarakocra. Ah. Well, I'm sure you'll figure it out. The Aarakocra. I think they're that way. He points to the east. Same direction the
thank
sun's
you.
rays are coming. You're welcome. Do you want some more water?
If you're offering, I'd be happy to. Thank you.
Certainly. There's a
You
cool
may-
stream near here.
You may be a little creepy, but you're also very nice.
I don't mean to be creepy.
I have a friend like that. He's red, and he sometimes talks about killing people, even when he doesn't have a magic spell making him do it. But in the end, he's actually very nice, and you're like that.
Good. I'm glad. He pushes back some of that orange hair again. You seem to be undergoing some changes, friend.
Yeah, I imagine so. I don't normally wake up in the woods like this.
Well, if there's a chance of waking up in the woods like this, it's good to have a friend who understands.
That would be nice, because I sure don't understand.
You will need to prove your strength. He stands up and dusts himself off. For now, I suppose you probably want to return to your friends. Where are you headed next?
I'm not sure. There's a cave with monsters, and we might be going to the cave.
A cave with monsters.
Yeah, they said it was down south in the mountains.
Sounds scary. I'll keep an eye out for danger then.
Oh, thanks.
Down south, at the cave in the mountains.
That's what they said. I haven't been there yet, though.
Indeed. Good day.
Oh, bye. Thanks again for the water.
He kind of adjusts his vest over his shirtless torso and turns and walks off into the woods in the opposite direction of where he pointed that your friends were.
Bye. I'm gonna head east and look for my friends.
Okay. Back at the Sky Weaver clan nest, things are tense. There's a lot of fear that people will keep disappearing from the nest, one way or another. And Akiramid says, I hope you're prepared never to see your friend again.
Listen,
No, we're going to
of
find
all the
Breath.
people who would absolutely survive in the woods, it would be Breath.
Yes, but the
Absolutely.
scarred earth has appeared.
Yeah, we met the Scarred Earth clan.
Akiri's making like a motion, but it's too late.
And
Did
the
you?
ones that we didn't kill ran.
Oh, by all the gods. He looks at Menonai.
Bella's just kind of standing in the back, sort of looking at them like really intently while this is all going on. And then after
please.
this, she says, you know, you seem very ready to dismiss everybody as dead the second they disappear. It is possible for some of these people to still be alive. I mean, how long did you wait for Akiri before she came home?
2 months.
For breath, and we're going to look for your son, and both of them might still be alive. I wonder, I mean, it seems like you should, I wonder what it's been like over the last few years for you to make that assumption.
He sputters a little bit.
Akiri gives Bella a bit of a sideways glance, like, oh no.
Calder
No, no,
is still
no.
asleep, by the way.
She's trying to sleep it off.
Yeah.
Okay. Menonai says, we were pets. Slaves. Really. At Crystal Glen. A vineyard to the southeast of here. At Crystal Glen, when an Aarakocra, especially a frilled, would go missing, it was often because the masters were hungry.
Akiri's looking mildly wide-eyed, like, oh, yeah, that's...
That's a terrible thing that happened to you.
Yes.
I'm very sorry.
You'll have to forgive a couple of parents who might be protective of their child when they unexpectedly get her back.
I hope you understand. We're not trying to dismiss any of your suffering. Over these last few months, it must be terrible not to know where your children are. We're only trying to say that if there's anything that can be done, we're here hoping to help you.
And we thank you for your help,
Can
but we can't risk losing Akiri. You have to understand, we've had the night to think it over, I suppose, but you had better check on your friend, and we thank you for looking for Shadir and Urk and Quaff, but we just can't take any further risks. You'd be a monster not to understand that. And I should have called for a break after breath scene, but I'm gonna call one soon. But go ahead. What were you saying, Ekotas?
Well, okay, just this probably is real quick, but hearing the story that she told about being a slave at the winery and all that, is that something that I would not? Is that the kind of treatment that I would be familiar with people? Would I be I mean, because of how I was brought up.
No.
This would be a different kind of.
This is very different.
Okay. This is more of different. A pet kind of situation.
It doesn't sound like these slaves were treated in the same manner as slaves from your past.
Okay. Alrighty. Alright.
She says, Crystal Glen brings up bad memories and disappearing children. We didn't need bad memories to make that a sad thing, but it plays upon them. And the father, Akiramid, adds, if you think of your own father, he's talking to Bella here, if you think of your own father and mother, would they feel any differently?
I'm sure he wouldn't, but nevertheless, I don't want to take your daughter away from you. I just want to make it clear that we're only trying to help. We're trying to help bring both of your children back home to you. In whatever way that needs to happen. And we're trying to do the same thing for Breath. Reunite him with his family.
Yes, well. Saya walks up at this point. She says, when you're done eating breakfast, I have something to show you. A gift. She smiles at you, Akiri.
You do?
I do. And with that, we're going to take a very short couple of minutes break because all that fake coughing is giving me a real cough. So we're going to be back in 5 minutes, and I'll let the sound play, but we'll be back very, very shortly, just so I can get some water. Otherwise, I'm going to die. Okay, right back. Be right back.
this works.
If
Are
you
y'all able to
believe-
hear me?
I can hear you.
Good. I had to unplug for a second. So cool. That's perfectly fine with me.
I'm down.
As long as it's not super late, we're national parking tomorrow. But like, 30
That'll be
minutes late.
fun.
Ooh, that'll be fun.
And we're back. So, Saya, the snowy owl. So old, her feathers would turn white, except she's already white. Brings you at the breakfast table another mug. Only this one has like a stopper. It's like a wooden, hollowed out thermos. And she holds it out, and she's like showing both you and your parents. And she says, "Do you know what this is?" It is marked. It is marked with a kind of it has a marking on it, kind of burned into it, that is of a chalice. And Kiramid and Menonai slowly shake their beaks.
And Kira's gonna take it and smile at it. Thank you, Saya.
She says, "You are welcome. But let me tell you what it is, and why I should give Kiramid and Menonai some peace of mind. This I have brewed with some help from the Whisper Sanctuary. An elixir of priest's safety.
Oh, what's it do? And she's like very excited now.
She says, if you drink it, and there are 3 doses in here, you must concentrate in the same way that you pray to your god. Zhurk. You see, I put his mark upon here.
Yes, I did. Thank you.
And focus on a place. And then, for a whole week, if you fall unconscious from getting hurt, you will be transported to that place you thought of. So, I thought, Kiramid, Menonai, as your daughter has been chosen by a god, perhaps you would let her leave to seek her brother's fate and save him if she can, with the power she has been granted. If you had this assurance that were she to take hurt, she would be instantly transported back to you. All she need do is drink deep of the elixir and think of her bedroom, perhaps, this home, and you will have your daughter back again, and can save her and protect her from any further hurt. Madonai and Kiramid look at each other.
Akira's gonna look at them with like this really pleading look.
You want to go and find Shadir and Urk and Quaff?
Yes, I really want to. Really need to. I know he's alive. I know he's still out there.
But you have to go save your friend, don't you, who fell out of the tree?
Yeah, we'll have to go find him. Definitely we'll have to go find him first. He saved all
make
of
sure
us so
you
many
drink
times.
before you do that. Either of
I
those
will.
things. I'm not saying you can go. Yet.
And she's gonna turn to Saya and say, "Thank you so much for this. It means a lot to me."
She flutters her wings. It means a lot to me that it means a lot to you. I'm so glad that my gift is going to be used. I'm going to brew up some more. And when you return, you can drink it. You can go off and use it again. And perhaps in this way, we can be assured of your safety. Her mother looks around at the rest of you. But she'll never need it, right? Because you're going to keep her safe?
We
Absolutely.
keep her safe. We keep her safe, then we keep ourselves safer than we keep ourselves.
I don't like his answer.
Wait,
Oh, Did you say safer than we keep ourselves?
Yeah, safer
okay,
than I would
okay.
keep myself. Yeah.
I'm sorry,
Honestly-
I misheard you.
Ah, okay.
If I might say something, honestly, she's been more responsible for keeping us safe than anybody. I mean,
Absolutely.
I understand why you're afraid to let her go, and I don't blame you for being very protective of somebody as remarkable as she is. But she is easily the person in our group who I would trust on her own more than anybody. She's saved all of our lives more than once.
More than once. Yeah.
Akiri is doing the closest thing to a blush that Aarakocra is actually possible of doing.
Akira kind
Really
of
hard.
folds his feathery arms and says, "Well, that's Akiri. Makes sense."
Well,
she-
absolutely,
and-
that's my point.
and the fact that she protects us all the time, it makes us want to protect her that much more.
He kind of takes you by the shoulders, Akiri. We just got you back, and now you want to go away again, but I suppose it is to find your brother.
We'll bring him back as soon as we can. I promise we'll be careful.
You keep that promise.
I
young
will.
lady.
And then she gives him a hug.
A big family hug ensues. Meanwhile, some more coughing comes from the other side of the communal eating area. The dwarf kind of stumbles in, leaning on the axe. He says, "Is there gift giving going on then?" He's shivering. "And you're going to go rescue that boy?"
He's our friend.
I only met him a short time, but he seemed a good lad, studious.
He's probably the best among us, outside of Akiri.
I think you guys have two people mixed up.
He wasn't speaking of Breath, he was speaking of Shadir.
Oh, my bad. I thought he was. Okay. Never mind. then.
He kind of, leaning on the axe, comes forward and says, and he kind of collapses on the floor. There's a fluttering of wings as the other, or as the, Aarakocra's around, like, kind of like, "Oh, Mr. Leadforge, are you alright?" He's lying on the floor, leaning on the axe. Sits up. He says, "I don't know. Help me to, I'll have drink water." Saya gives him a kind of a clear tea to help him breathe a little bit easier. He's still kind of pale, even though he's bright pink. Sicker has been eating, and as he finishes, he's got a piece of fried tree snake. He tosses that back, and he says, "So, we hunt your friend now."
I don't know if hunt would be the way I would put it, but we are searching. We need to search for him, yes.
Do you have a plan?
Oof, that's what... Plans are hard to come by. We went and searched for as much of a trail as we could. The trail leads a little way, and then it just disappears. There is no more trail.
Well, I can fly and scout a ways.
That will be helpful.
Kiri can as well.
He may very well be pretty easy to spot. He's probably going to be naked, and he's probably going to be confused. Although it's been a while, so he may have had enough time to have found something, some clothes, but it's breath, so he may be naked.
He's probably naked. Actually, we should probably grab his clothes and things for him.
Probably a good idea. Somebody grab chock-a-block and everything. I'll give it to me. I'll carry it. All right, let's go.
Weakly dragging it, you guys. Kind of
Maybe you should
head
get Maverick to do that.
I mean, you know, I don't have a negative strength modifier. Let's
I
put
mean,
it
I
that
do.
way.
You, those of you who cannot fly, head to the rope ladders, whereupon you hear something crashing through the underbrush below. Breath.
Who wants to bet that's breath?
There you are!
Yeah, buddy. Here, I think all this stuff is yours.
Breath has arrived on the scene, naked and covered in bruises and scratches. He
Breath?
looks a wreck. There are sticks and things in his hair. He's covered in dirt and blood. And Breath, you've taken an additional 2 damage as you are hoofing it through the woods.
Breath. Buddy,
Hey, Equitus.
we need to talk.
Okay. I met a creepy guy in the woods.
Oh.
He gave me gourd water.
Oh? Then we may have 2 things to talk about.
Let's get you back and get you breakfast.
At this point,
Breakfast
it's
sounds great.
at this point it's actually closer to lunch.
I
Well, call
don't
us up
change
then.
what I'm saying at all.
Calda's awake.
Akiri's gonna go land next to Breath. My Siri keeps thinking I keep saying Akiri whenever I say it. Akiri's gonna go. Siri, shut up! Akiri's gonna go find. Go land next to Breath and cast Cure Wounds on him.
Okay.
So,
You did regain your spell slots because you got a full night's sleep, Akiri.
I mean, she didn't expend any other than that. I think I hit the wrong one. No, I did. That's
is
just
the
a really
person
bad
with
one.
my clothes still up in the tree?
No, I had them with me. I handed
Oh, you
them to
climbed
you.
down,
I
okay.
I had them. I brought them with
that's the
with
reason.
me.
Breath, a lot of them are
I get
torn
it.
up.
Yeah. Did you grab my pack?
I grabbed. I said I grabbed everything. So
Okay. So I
yeah.
would have something in my pack, I'd imagine.
Your pack has been torn open, and most of the rations are gone. Roll a d6 for me. You have 4 rations remaining.
I ate 6 of my rations.
Well,
Griff?
they're gone. Who knows who ate them?
Before I forget to ask, because there are other things that we're going to talk about, before I forget to ask, do you think you could show me or tell me exactly where you saw that creepy man?
There was a log, and probably the space I was sleeping. And I kind of cut a pretty big path through the woods.
If we went back there, do you think you could find it?
I could try.
Okay, well,
I know it's back that way.
we'll put a pin in that. We'll come back to that.
Now, let's have breakfast first.
Alright, let's do that.
Question, Max. Would something weird like that sound familiar to Curie? Or
Something weird
just
like
like
what?
finding a weird guy in the woods? Or like, has she heard of
sounds
anyone?
exactly to Akiri as it sounds to Emmy.
Weird guy in the woods, okay.
Calder will take a moment with the freshly returned breath as we're heading to breakfast. Now, breath lad, this problem you got. I hear there's some called Grand Bards. Maybe they could help you with that.
Is that with my missing brother?
Well, I wouldn't know. Is one
What problem do you mean?
turning into a horrible beast?
What do you mean?
Okay, see, Calda, we were gonna kind of ease into this, okay?
Equitas, what happened?
Okay.
Did I do a murder?
No. Okay, remember a little while ago when we had that fight, and there were those tiger things that we fought?
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
Calda, did you say Grand Bards?
Aye.
Oh, shit.
And you think that this could fix werewolves? Please, just like what? What?
Well, I've just heard rumors of these Grand Bards. Great powers, knowledge. If anyone could, surely a Grand Bard. Do you know one?
Has it ever occurred to you that maybe they just are like really good at poems?
Does the Pope poop in the woods?
Why specifically that out of all of the things that are in the universe? Why is that the thing specifically?
I agree. I think that meeting a Grand Bard would be a good idea, especially if they can help us with our were-tiger problem. I think that this is a direction that we definitely should go in.
No one cares about what you think, Equitas.
It doesn't matter.
Right, well, nobody cares, and maybe your reasons are not related to the problem we have right now. How does this relate to the problem we have right now, Calda? Why are you thinking of this?
Akiri's gonna come up real quick and grab Bella's arm and be like, I'm sorry, we're tigers?
Yeah, Breath is a werewolf, or a weird tiger, or something. Breath is weird. Is that really our main problem right now? Maybe the problem is that Calda knows something So
Yeah, that's kind of a big problem. Bella.
Honestly, Bella, yeah, that is our main problem.
maybe everybody needs to tell me what all they are all thinking, so we can go solve all of the
I'm
problems.
thinking I want breakfast.
Yeah. Right. Yes. Get him breakfast.
Okay, honestly,
Breakfast.
great bard or not, we need to figure out a way to fix Bref's issue before the month's up. So we have a month to figure that out. Does that sound like an incorrect? Am I incorrect so far in that?
No, that's yes.
We still need to find Shadir. We still need to do what we were doing. So let's do it. I was just giving you shit about the Great Bards. I'm sorry.
It's okay.
Bella, you see Calda make a notion that if you want to have a private conversation in the corner, she'll be over there.
Noted.
With a scone.
Well, I do like scones.
Do they have scones, Akiri?
I don't think they really have ovens, so probably not. There's probably baked goods of some kind.
Calda
It's
has
most-
secret scones.
Calder just pulls one out like no big deal.
Exactly.
That is her power.
She brought one from Wildstone.
I'm not too far out of civilization.
Yeah,
I might have one left.
totally. You have a scone. With honey and butter. From the clan.
But Calda, honestly, if for later, if you think that, and I'm only saying this, Bella, because he mentioned it or she mentioned it. If you think that a great bard might help us with a lycanthropy issue, we would like to probably hear about that.
Yes, absolutely. I would be very interested to hear about it. I just reserve the right to be skeptical.
Understandable and duly noted.
Has Bella joined Calda in the corner?
I will do so if everybody is done.
Well,
With
Bref
their
is
stuff?
still eating, but Bref, you're strangely full. You kind of shake
Strangely-
yourself.
Strangely what?
Full. Like you
Oh.
ate a big meal last night.
Not as hungry as I thought I was.
But you kind of try to shake off that urge to eat that is still somewhat lingering. Bella joins Calda in the corner.
Yep.
Do you speak Vale Common?
Veye. It's pronounced Veye.
They
A little. Why?
sensitive topic?
Why don't you tell me what you think you know about the great bards? And I'll tell you if you're right.
DM, I will sleight of hand
Mm.
the medallion to Bella.
Okay. She hands you a scone.
I am
And-
watching all of the. I'm
All
watching
right.
them.
Calda, make a sleight of hand check, Calda. And anyone who's watching this carefully, I guess Equitas and Bella, make a.
Duncan.
Well, Bella, you don't really need to make a check.
Oops.
Wait,
Yikes.
Oh,
Ooh boy.
what
my
would that?
collector coin.
What would that be?
So,
Perception.
Perception, yeah. Try not to roll a 1.
Try not to roll a 1. All right. Hey, it wasn't a 1, but it was the same score.
Wow.
Can I
Wow.
roll deception?
Wow.
Can I roll
That
deception?
actually is a success, but
Does-
barely. Well, hang on. Let me describe what happens. You can roll
Sure.
deception in a second. So Calda hands you the scone, and then is trying to hold this kind of coin underneath it, and then drops the coin, and it bounces on the wicker floor. It's like this flashy gold medallion kind of thing.
I would like to roll
Ding,
deception
You see this,
to
Equitas,
try and be
even though you almost don't.
I just sort of. I don't say anything, but I just almost imperceptibly, I'm shaking my head.
No, my collector coin.
Sure.
Go ahead and make a deception.
Oh no, you almost gave me this. And I pick it up off the floor and hand it to her.
Okay, do you want to know what it looks like?
Yes, I definitely look at.
It looks like something that a resident artist may have slaved over for 2 weeks to make just for this occasion.
Oh.
Dang.
Ting, 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 ting.
Neato, that's very. Oof. I love it, but wow.
I'd like to note that the mouth is organic.
That makes me want to. Ugh. That makes me feel icky. But in a good way.
Yeah, in the middle of this gold coin or token, there's this sort of gummy mouth shape that kind of is bumped up off of it, and there's this black void in the middle of it,
That's some Cronenberg shit right there.
surrounded by lightning. So you hand that over.
And in Vea Common,
They common. Mm-hmm.
I say the Calamity League has an interest in your connection to a great bard. And they'd like to know more.
I understand VAA Common, by the way. So if she's saying this loud enough to be able to hear, I do understand VAA Common.
It would be in a private conversation tone.
Okay, well, I'm definitely trying to, but I'm not
All right. Make a perception roll.
Okay.
As the clan is going about their daily lives, fetching water, starting to prepare more food, trying to work on mending the giant hole in the floor. There are many apologies to Bref because not everybody understands exactly what happened. But the Red Tails are very worried and wondering how he survived the fall. But they're worried that the floors may not be as sturdy as they ought to be. Equitas, you don't pick up on it, man. You know that they're speaking, but you can't hear it. As one of the smaller Aarakocras is asking way too many questions of Oos nearby. So back to Calda and Bella.
What?
You're still holding the token, Bella.
Yes. What exactly do you want to know?
Oh, not me. My associates with the League are more the ones who want to know. I'm the messenger. I have my own mission.
And what is that?
Fortress Colsley, as I've said the whole time.
I think you're going to need to explain further.
About what? The Calamity League? Are they protecting...
Yes?
Yes?
About why you're asking me specifically about it. I mean, there are 7 people in my group. Why are you asking me specifically
You
about a great bard?
were the most agitated when I brought it up.
Yeah, well, I'm high-strung. What do you...
Also, Merva doesn't seem like she has a connection. Brev, right out. Akiri, we've seen all of her connections. And Equitas seem to be ribbing you about it. And the other one is half mushroom. So.
Right. Well, yes. Absolutely. I don't know how you didn't pick up on it until now. My father, actually, is one of the great bards. What is your interest in them?
I guess broadly, protecting them, making sure their works don't get lost or destroyed.
Protecting them from what?
Calamities.
Calamities. Variety.
One's like, if a whole mountain fell on a kingdom, we'd make sure the art got out, while everyone else scurries around saving lives.
And in this scenario, what is the mountain?
A literal mountain.
Which one?
Oh, this is hypothetical. Any mountain.
So a literal hypothetical mountain, then.
Maybe one with a ribbon in it.
All right. Listen, my You know, my father is a great, a great tragedian. He's written some of the greatest tragedies that have ever existed. If if anything were to be happening to him, what would your level of awareness be?
Well, I only learned last night someone here had this connection. So I haven't been told much. But you have that coin, so you can connect with people who do. Unfortunately, that's above my pay grade.
Right.
But things go well here. I could ask when I get back.
Yeah. I think. Yes. Okay. Whatever you find out would be great. As far as I know, they're fine. The great bards. So yes, if you find out something that would possibly be threatening to my father, one of the great bards, that would be of yes, of great interest.
By the way, DM,
Yeah.
Calda is really restraining, like, sort of a fan reaction to meeting the kin of a great bard. But keeping it cool.
Bella, you can probably detect Calda seems really interested in you, more so than before.
Can I make like a sense motive check?
Sure.
Perception?
Sense motive. Or insight. Sense motive doesn't exist anymore.
12.
You're not really picking up on too much of it, but it's kind of irrepressible. If you want to right-click the coin, you can take it into your hand of cards. I don't know who's waving it around right now.
I don't see it, actually.
It's there. Bottom right.
Got it.
Alright. So, yeah, Calda's... You can tell she's kind of fangirling a little bit. Just because you have fans.
Yes, I do.
Alright. What would you guys like to do next?
And I tell her about
Okay.
Madame Lumiere.
Oh. What do you tell her?
Just that she's someone she can talk to in that vein. If she chose that coin.
So Kalda tells you that Madame Lumiere is someone who might know something in Wildstone.
And why would you know anything about that?
I just know she was very helpful when I came to town. We run in a lot of the same interests.
Right. Well, guess I'll keep that in mind.
This breakfast is great, really. It's just... I still feel pretty full from last night.
Bref, what did you do last night?
Apparently, I turned into a great beast. I don't remember anything, though.
Yeah, Bref, I think you were a tiger. You probably had a really good time, honestly. We just need to, and hopefully you didn't actually kill anybody. Hopefully. But we'll figure, between now and the next time this happens, we'll figure out what we need to do to fix it.
That'd be nice. It was painful. And I hold up my broken thumb.
Yeah, I bet. I'm gonna look over at Bella and Calda and say, "Are we ready to go?"
Yeah?
Alright. Then I guess let's get a move on. Are we going to...
Yep.
We're continuing to Akiri's... Or we're going to... Where was it? South to where Shadir was going, correct?
Yes,
Yeah.
to this dangerous cave.
To the dangerous cave. That's where we need to go.
You begin packing up your things. It's about midday, maybe a little after. Akiri's parents help her pack and continually give you admonishments. As soon as you find your brother, you come back here and tell us. Whatever you
I
find.
will, I promise. Just over and over again.
And Urk and Quaff's parents basically come up to you and say the same thing. Eyal and Hirk.
She's a lot more patient with them. Just like, I will, we will. We'll bring him back to you.
Guys, pack up all your stuff. You heft your heavy packs once more. Your mission not yet complete. And Oos, the leader of the clan, comes up to you guys and waves his stick. He kind of has a bundle under one arm. He says, hello? Hello? Talon friends?
Kiri's gonna go up to him.
Yes. Akiri, tell your friends to gather around.
Okay. Guys, come here real quick. Just real quick.
Okay.
Alright,
well,
gather round.
gathering around.
He clears a space on the table, lays down the bundle, and he says, "You are all determined to go out and risk your lives to rescue 3 more of our own. Yes?"
I mean,
looks
that's
at-
why we came here.
That's the plan.
That's what we're going to do.
He looks at each one of you in turn. "Well, in that case, the Skyweaver clan will offer you some gifts, since you will need them more than we. Some things, little trinkets we collected over the years." And he slowly unrolls the cloth bundle, and inside is a motley collection of objects. Several Aarakocras come up and look over the things. And so does their dwarf guest for Fanog Leadforge. And as he is pulling these things out, he looks over and he finally notices the bracelet on Akiri's wrist. He says, "Oh, that looks familiar."
Akira's gonna take it off and hand it back to him. Yeah, we ran into some of the Scarred Earth cult on the way here a couple days ago. And they destroyed, Quark's, Sky Burial.
Oh.
Sorry, Siri was being dumb again.
Oh, that is a terrible thing. And you stopped them?
Yep.
My mate has passed some time ago, but I would not have her bones disrespected until the sky has fully taken them. You keep her her bracelet. You keep it. It looks good on you.
Thank you, Oos. And then she rewraps it and ties it.
Right. To the gift giving. He points with his stick. "Saya has given you an elixir. You should drink that."
Kiri takes a sip.
Well, do you just take a sip or do you take a full dose? It's like a big gulp.
Full dose.
Okay. What do you concentrate on? What
The
location?
table. Just like
Here
the table in
in
front.
here in the Skyweaver clan nest?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Alright. So that is keyed. Next time you go unconscious from damage, that is what's supposed to happen anyway. Now, the objects he's unrolled in the bundle are, as I said, motley. Very odd and different kinds of objects. There is a buckler with the Carsley Fortress sigil on it, or coat of arms, the Carsley family coat of arms, that has been kind of rubbed off, mostly. And he points at it and he says, "This was used by one of our clan some time ago who had a bit of a mischievous bent, a habit of taking things that did not belong to her. She used this in her work. A bit of a birdie cat burglar, if you will. And I give it now to you. If you want it.
So it was a buckler?
Yes.
Maybe you might.
A burglar's buckler. Meant to help you
easy.
clamber in through windows or up trees, I suppose.
Calda?
Calda might use it.
No strings attached. Just this notion we're helping your kin.
I mean, you've stuck around so far, and you haven't tried to kill us.
Well, even if you are returning to town or pursuing other investigations, I can see that you, having joined this group, are doing good in the world. And we don't really like to use bucklers. I'll leave it up to you if you want it. He also unwraps a stretch of leather, a whip, with a kind of pretty coiled handle. He says, "This lights a flame. When brandished, this whip is not something that we normally use. Not wishing to set our home ablaze," and he points around at the Whispering Wood. But those of you with fire magic, he looks at Krim, may find it particularly useful. But this is another gift for you. He unwraps a kind of a metalwork lantern. It's a big, decorative iron lantern. He says, when you light a candle in here, the area where the light touches is warded. Protected. We have little need for it, since we are safe from our enemies up our trees. These earth-bound cultists cannot touch us. But those of you who like to go camping in the wilderness may find this of use. He next unwraps a helmet, a big helmet that looks like it was hand-chipped out of stone. The stone helm of Yelna and Agar. This will protect you from being found. But it will slow you down. He next unwraps a weird-looking skull that has a pair of horns, and there are carvings into the bone. Rune-carved imp skull of the fall. None of us need this, but it will protect those of you who do not have wings when falling from a great height. And finally, this odd thing was found in the woods some time ago, at a place where dead folk used to be. But it was found alone. And he unwraps this long, kind of thin thing. And when you see it, it kind of it's rather odd looking. It's a little off-putting. It looks like a wood and metal rod with a slight twist to it, at the end of which there's this big mouth. There's these jaws hanging open, carven of worked iron.
Akira's gonna poke it. Just kind of curiously.
When you poke it, it rolls over, and you hear a sound like...
Akira takes a very quick step back. She's like, nope.
I have a feeling you might be interested. And he points his stick at Equitas. But I can't say for certain, and I'm not one to leap to judgments.
Tell me more about it. Where did you said you just found it out in the woods?
Yes, in a strangely dark place. A place that was dark even at midday.
Yeah, that would be something I would be interested in.
And there were bodies, but when I returned, the bodies were gone, and only this remained.
And it's
It definitely has a strange power to it.
and it's
Power
just
I don't understand.
And it's just a wood and metal rod with sort of a mouth carved on the end.
Jaws, yeah.
Jaws. Okay. Yeah. I'll I would appreciate that. Yeah.
Well, take them. These are gifts for you folk. Our far walkers, our Talon friends, and our Twilight saviors. Take these gifts and travel well and bring our children back to us.
Kira's gonna like grab his hands and say, "Thank you so much, Oos. We really appreciate this."
This is very generous.
Oh, not at all. Most of these things are not being used by the clan anyway, and besides, what you are doing for us, do you understand the danger you're going into?
That's all I say.
The
Yes.
Scarred Earth Clan, you should wait for the soldiers, but I have a feeling you will not. And so, I think these gifts are the least that we can do. Use them well.
We appreciate it. You've been very. Thank you for your hospitality.
You're very welcome.
We'll bring Akiri and Shadir back safely. And what's their names? The other ones.
Irk and Quaff.
Yep.
Good.
The professor and Marianne. All right. So let's go.
Wait! The dwarf comes stumbling over, barely holding himself upright. You said you seek a cure. He's speaking to Mavra.
Yes.
He says, would this help? And he holds up the axe.
Possibly.
Wow.
Find the cure. And even if it is too late for me, save your father. He holds it out to you. I give you the dragon's bite.
I take it and bow.
He nods, which is the best he can manage.
Thank you.
And as you guys set off, laden with magical gifts, Calda, you receive another sending.
Aye.
One that calls you urgently to the safe house in Arkney. Head there
Okay.
next, is the message. And bring whatever evidence you've managed to gather to Gwynil at the safe house.
That's a very familiar name.
I will reply.
Take this job and shove it.
I wish.
I don't have much, but I'll bring what I have. Found an odd group. Could be helpful.
You guys notice Calda kind of pausing and as if thinking about something as you guys are traveling away from the Skyweaver clan nest.
Now, y'all are nice folk, but I do have a mission. Fortress Carsley. I can't go running off just saving people. It's not what my group did. That's why I was hesitant about accepting the old man's gifts, because I felt it wouldn't quite line up. So I have to go now, but I think we might see each other again.
Really? You're leaving already? But we've only known you for but you've only been with us for 3 days.
I thought
That's not long enough at all.
this doesn't make any sense. Why are you having to go so soon?
You ever heard of magical messages?
Oh, yeah.
Yes, I am very familiar with. Do you want me to send you one right now? I can send you one right now if you want me to.
Oh, sure.
I'm gonna send you one that says, "Hey, I'm sending you a message." See, I can do that.
Great. So you know that if I got a message from my boss, I gotta do it.
So, you
That sounds like a guess
got
to me.
a boss. You got a message from your boss, and now you need to go do something for this boss. Hey, can I ask a question?
Yeah.
And then actually, it's gonna be 2 questions.
Well, now you're pushing your luck.
Well, I'm gonna ask them anyway. And the questions are these: who is your boss, and what do they want you to do?
My boss and what I'm doing aren't things I can discuss. But I like y'all enough to tell you that I'm leaving. I
Well,
want to work with you again, but can't. Right now.
honestly, if you don't feel, if you can't trust us enough to tell us, then yeah, it's probably best if you just went ahead and left.
Well, if I told you, someone else might.
If you're gonna say try to kill me, man, I say that I invented that.
I don't think you did.
All right. Well, still, if you're not going to tell us, then just go. That's fine. And I'm going to turn around and walk away.
Right. So the rest of you, and Calda will hold out a hand to shake. Anyone who will?
Akiri
Try
will.
business.
I will.
Oh, bye. Thanks for not trying to kill us with those cultist people.
Oh, Breath. Didn't you eat way too many of your food?
Yeah.
Well, I'm heading back. I could give you half of mine.
Oh, thanks.
And DM,
Yeah,
I'll give him 5 ration.
cool. Mark that up. Awesome. Well, with an exchange of gifts and then more gifts, Calda bids farewell to most of the group and heads off in a different direction on her unknown and mysterious mission,
I roll stealth.
leaving you with perhaps more questions than answers as she fades into the forest
She was weird.
with her
Yeah?
highly effective self.
I liked her though. She seemed nice.
Oh,
A
she
little-
was very nice. And
Yeah, a little-
weird.
But nice. Weird but nice. I mean, hey, who in this party isn't? So she fit right.
You guys travel on, and you
I
begin
wasn't
to.
a fan.
When was the last time you were a fan of someone who just joins us? You didn't like? Well, no, you didn't really like Yar, did you? You didn't like Samson. Didn't like Yar. Didn't really like her. How do you even like us?
It took a minute for me to like you all of you. And Stina, the jury's still. Oh yeah. Well, no, I love all of you equally.
All
Akiri
right.
gives him a hug. It's okay, I love you too.
No, there was just something about her that I didn't. I don't know. Her especially. But whatever.
I mean, it is what it is. I mean, Hopefully it won't come back to bite us, but I don't think it will.
She was extremely good at killing people without them knowing it.
Well, yeah, but she didn't kill us.
No, she didn't. That's something that you learn how to do. The places that teach you how to do that are not nice places. And they don't teach you to do that for good reasons.
Well, I mean, Bref knows how to kill people, and he's from a ship, right, Bref?
No, but the way Bref goes about his thing is completely different than the way...
I think everyone I've killed has known that I've been trying to kill them.
I think,
That's true, you do kind of announce it.
Yeah, you usually are screaming at the top of your lungs. I don't know.
Alright.
She just sort of... I'm glad she's gone. I'm not really glad she's gone. But Equitas says, I'm glad she's gone.
Well, I'm also glad to be out of the nest, because, oh my goodness, my parents are clingy. I forgot how clingy they were.
As you travel, if you glance up through the trees, you can see a pair of Aarakocras following you for some miles out of the nest. For they eventually turn back.
Yes,
Go to
Bref,
the nest.
absolutely.
You know what, Akiri? I know that you probably find your family smothering, and it probably gets irritating.
Absolutely.
I understand that. I do. They love you so much. And
I know they do.
it would just be
What?
really, really nice to have something like that to be able to come back to.
Most of my family's
should-
dead.
Yeah, see? You should cherish it.
I mean, I do appreciate them, and I appreciate my family, but oh my goodness, I forgot how nice space. I'm like, I know it's nice that I can come back to them, but
Your family is being the way that families are supposed to be. And you're supposed to fly away. And it's supposed to be hard on them. I don't know. I've just been told that. I read it somewhere.
Well, they keep following you for a while before you lose track of them in the forest canopy.
do they look similar to Akiri's parents,
They
color-wise?
look exactly like them.
See, they love you.
Yeah, but now they're possibly gonna get hurt too. That's the problem here.
Well, how far out are how far have they been following us? How far out are
At this point, you've been walking for a few hours, so a few miles.
Okay, that's we may need to have a talk.
That's mildly excessive.
Alright, we're gonna stop and flag down.
Well, at this point, I think we are going to call it upon the parting with Calda and the giving of gifts. So, thank you guys so much for playing and going a little late. Thank you to Jeremy, player of the Barbarian Bref. Thank you to Emmy, player of the Aarakocra Cleric Akiri. Thank you to Paul, player of the Tiefling Warlock Equitas. Thank you to Danielle, player of the Dwarf Fighter Mavra. And Mavra, upon waking from your dream in this next day, you have gained access to your Seal of Power.
Nice.
I thought I was done, but there was something else I had to cover. Your Seal of Power, which is... hang on a second. I almost forgot. Maybe I should tell you after, instead of interrupting the good nights. But hang on just a second.
This one had a lot of. This
Go
tonight
ahead.
had a lot of notes, by the way, folks.
Yes. Mavra's 4th level seal. Seal of a Mercenary's Daughter. You can spend 1 hit
I'm
die.
sorry, what?
Seal of the Mercenary's Daughter.
That's badass.
You can spend 1 hit die as an action to regain 1 use of an action surge. Train for 1 week to get access to it for 1 month. I think the only active seals of power are currently Equitas and Brefs, right?
I know mine is active.
Okay. Well, there you have it, Mavra. I put it
I'm
in the
assuming-
chat.
I'm probably gonna have to do something with this rod that I found. Also,
You're gonna have to attune to it to find out more.
yeah, that's what I meant. Yeah.
All right, folks. And huge thank you to James, player of the Human Rogue Kalda guest star, for 2 sessions. Thank you so much, dude. That was amazing. Great character.
You are awesome. What
That
a
was
fun
so
character.
much fun.
Come back. Don't let this be the end. Honestly, come
Yes.
back.
Well, that's why I set that up.
Yeah, man. For sure. For sure.
Well done rolling with the punches as I dumped a huge amount of info in secret on him. Mostly stuff that you guys know, but you've had all these sessions to pick up on it. And a few other things. So thank you, dude. That was fantastic. Thank you to Bella, who I don't see in Roll20, but is somewhere around. Thank you to Kate. And our other not present players. You guys are all amazing. Thank you so much. Have a great night. Have a great week. Have a great Monday holiday if you have one. And
Happy Labor Day.
Happy Labor Day.
Go thank a union.
Go thank a union.
Thank a union member. Honestly,
Go thank a Union Day.
being sincere. Thank a union member.
And good night. Thanks, everybody.
Bye, audience.